Test. Test. Check. Hello. Okay. Okay, I'm going to do a quick explanation of how to make a box on the website. So I've got a page of rulemaking that's got 3 boxes. It's very helpful to look at this in Chrome so that you can inspect the element. The key thing with the boxes is that you have to understand what number they're assigned. And the only way to know that is to use inspect element. So I'm going to right click on this did you know box. And I'm going to open up this thing that says inspect element. And this little bottom section opens up down here. What I'm looking for is a div ID that says block block. Okay? And there, so if I scroll up here, I see block 119. In fact, it even highlights it on the screen. It says block 119. And then I look at the inspector, and I can see right here that it tells me that's what the background is. Okay, so what that means is it's getting that code, it's coloring that block from the CSS. Okay, so I'm going to use Dreamweaver, and I log into our site following the instructions in the Council Tools Passwords folder to access the CSS. So when I get into Dreamweaver, I find the files, I go to remote server, find the CSS, and I open it. And then what I did is I looked for, so to that example, I hit Control F, and I look for block, and I'll search for 119, that block I was just looking at, and say find next. Okay, and there it is. There's the code. And that's how you color it, and that's really important. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to add another block just as an example of how to do this. All right, so I go back to rule making. Let's say I want to add another block down here, another gold block. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I go to Structure, Blocks, and let it do its thing. Okay, it's helpful on the other window, just so you know that you can't see. I'm going to pull up another block that works because I'm going to steal some of the information from it. So I'm going to say add block. I'm going to call this available gold. That's how it's going to be. That's how it's going to show up. So actually, maybe I'll just put did you know, because that tends to be our gold. The block description is available gold. Okay. I'm going to say line 1, line 2 in the block body. Okay, then full HTML. The CSS classes, I'm going to copy it from another existing box, which you can't see, but I'm just going to paste it in. Okay. Under business responsiveness theme, I'm putting it in the second sidebar. Okay. And then I'm coming down, and I'm going to only put it on this page, rulemaking. And then I hit Save Block. It's not going to let me name some that already exist. So I'm going to say, let's try Available Gold 4. Try that. Save Block. Okay. So now I'm going to go back and I use the back button, and I'm just going to go to our rulemaking page. And when we scroll down, in fact, I'll probably reload it here. So I'm refreshing the window. When I scroll down, you can see there's this white box down here that you can just barely even see. It needs to be colored. Okay, so the first thing we need to figure out is what is the number of this box. And here's what you do. You right-click on it, okay, and you go to Inspect Element, and I can see now that this is box 120. So now what I need to do is I need to color that in the CSS. And I'm just going to steal from box 119 and make it gold. Okay, so then I go to Dreamweaver. I open up the style sheet on the remote server. Okay, this happens to be it. And I'm just going to copy the line from 119 because it's going to be exactly the same, except that it's going to change the number and make it 120. B, and I'm going to make this 120, so 20. Okay, and then on Dreamweaver you save it. So this is a local copy. And then Dreamweaver's got this sort of funky thing where you have to pay, it's called put. So I go to my local copy, there it is. I can see that it was at 954 is when I saved it. And now what I'm going to right click on it and just hit and say put. And then I'm going to go back to my remote view. I'm going to make sure that it actually updated at 954. So I'm going to refresh it. Okay, it actually says 956. That's good. Go back to my internet. Okay, now when I refresh this page, that should be there. Hopefully. And there it is. Okay. And that's how you add a box. Now I'm going to go ahead and take this off this rulemaking page. So I'm going to say configure block. And I will have it on no page. So I'll just get rid of rulemaking. Save block. And that's how you do it.